She walked in wearing a simple blazer and quiet shoes. No assistant, no name tag, no fanfare, just confidence. The dealership was buzzing with suits and polished smiles, but no one looked her way. When she asked for help, a young staffer smirked and told her, "Wait outside, real buyers come first." Come. She stepped back without a word. But what didn't they know? She wasn't there to buy a car. She owned the entire company, and in a few short minutes, they'd learn exactly who they just pushed out the door. Wait a second. Tell us where you're watching from in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more powerful stories like this. Danielle Rivers was one of the youngest CEOs in the auto industry and one of the only black women ever to lead a national luxury dealership chain. But despite her title, Danielle never lost touch with her roots. She believed in walking the floor, talking to people, and seeing the reality herself. After receiving complaints of racial bias at one of her flagship locations, she decided to visit unannounced. No cameras, no drivers, just her, blending in like any other customer. She pulled up in a used sedan, wore no makeup, and left her badge behind. As she stepped into the dealership, no one offered a greeting. No one even looked up. Danielle wasn't surprised. She had seen this kind of treatment before, but this time, she wasn't going to ignore it. She was going to expose it. And within the hour, the people inside would face the consequences of underestimating the woman they refused to serve. Danielle walked through rows of pristine cars, stopping to admire a luxury coupe on display. A young couple nearby received sparkling water and a warm welcome. Danielle? Nothing. She walked toward the receptionist, who was scrolling on her phone. Danielle waited, then softly asked, "Excuse me, I have a question about the financing, options for that model." The receptionist didn't even look up. "We're busy today. You can wait outside. Someone will help. If we get a chance." A nearby salesman scoffed. "She's probably here to get a brochure. Happens all the time." Danielle nodded slowly. "Thank you," she said, then stepped outside. What no one knew was that Danielle had already notified her senior leadership team to meet her there in 10 minutes. When they arrived, 3 corporate directors in suits, the energy shifted. The receptionist's jaw dropped when she saw them walk straight to Danielle and say, "Ms. Rivers, sorry we're late. Are you ready to walk the floor?" She smiled. "Absolutely." They walked back into the dealership. This time, everyone noticed. Whispers, eyes wide. The sales team stiffened. Danielle stood in the center of the showroom as silence fell. She cleared her throat, and the receptionist slowly stood up, pale. Danielle addressed the entire floor. "My name is Danielle Rivers," she said clearly. "I'm the CEO of this dealership network." Gasps. Someone dropped their clipboard. "I came here today because I received complaints about discrimination, especially toward customers who don't look like they belong." She glanced at the staff who ignored her, who mocked her. "I gave you the chance to show how you treat strangers, and you failed." Her team handed out sealed envelopes, termination papers. "You told me to wait outside," Danielle said, locking eyes with the receptionist. "Now it's your turn." The staff who dismissed her were led out of the building. This time, they were the ones unrecognized, unwanted, and silent. Danielle didn't smile as she stood alone in the center of the showroom. "This was never about a car," she said to the remaining staff. "This was about dignity, respect." News of the firing spread across the city within hours, and eventually, nationwide. Her leadership became a symbol of accountability in corporate America. Training programs were launched. Hiring practices have been reformed. But most importantly, Danielle's message echoed across boardrooms and showrooms alike. Racism doesn't always scream. Sometimes it whispers in policies and customer service smiles. This wasn't just about Danielle. It was about the thousands of people who walk into stores, banks, and dealerships every day dismissed because of skin, hair, or accent. She made sure that wouldn't happen again. Have you ever felt invisible in a place you should have been welcomed? Comment below and tell us where you're watching from. Take care.